Oh, all right. What are we looking at here? There we go. That's not the camera we want. Uh-uh. What happened? Mhm. What happened? Okay. What are we doing? See what happened? I moved the camera. Okay. Excuse me, everybody. This is what happens when you move things around. Sorry. I spent all that time getting this together. All right, hold on. Let's see. Let's see. Oof. All right, let me see. What do we got here? Got a lot going on. Okay. Hey, thank you for giving me a thumbs up, whoever that is. Hi. This is just ridiculous. Ah. Oh boy. Okay. Let's see. That's there. So I guess I'm using the mic on the overhead camera, which was not my plan, but I'll go with it since we're already live. I'm sure. Not too much. Let's see. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. What's the angle? It's craziness. Ah. Okay, Spirit. Let's see. What do we got going on here? Thank you for being patient here with me. And Happy New Year for those who I haven't spoken to or who are new. But this reading, so to speak, this is not exactly a reading. This is more like just some coaching um, about inner child healing. All right. So you can hear me. Could you just let me know, yes or no, if you can hear me in the comment section? Again, thanks for coming. And so we're going to be doing this for Leo, inner child, feminine inner child healing. So I was led to do these readings or do these sessions based on the Fairy Tale Tarot, which is by Mark Lerner and Isha Lerner. Okay, thank you, Kizzy. All right, you can hear me. Thank you so much. All right, so this is the inner child cards of Fairy Tale Tarot. And I've done a series using these cards back in 2017, I believe. But as we're going on this journey, things have been, revealed, and you learn more and you awaken to different aspects of the journey and healing our inner child, our masculine child, our inner masculine. And we've been focusing on that and doing a great job, right, as a collective. So, um, but as usual, the feminine kind of got put to the side, left for last. So, what I was led to do is go through each of the signs and just based on the oracle cards and the number that's assigned to them through the tarot, to do something to give us some hints of the things that we may need to work on or that we need to at least acknowledge that may have been hurtful to our little girl inside, to that little girl inside, whether we're male or female or whatever the terminology is that's being used today. So even if you were a girl, you identified as a girl when you were born, or you identified as a boy when you were born, we all have aspects of masculine and feminine and light and dark and good and evil within us. And so this is about allowing that part of the feminine to be recognized and acknowledged. And once something is acknowledged, it can be healed because you can kind of see where it's coming from. So this is going to be general, but 2 and 2. Thank you very much for coming and giving me a thumbs up. This would be at least a way to consider things that you may not have known about yourself, or things that you had hidden or pushed aside because you were being feminine, you were being strong, you were being whatever it is that you needed to be to get through the situations, right? Some of these situations may have happened when you were a little child, some may have happened as you were an adolescent, and others may have happened as you were a young adult, right, in your past. But these are lessons or blessings or strengths that you may be becoming aware of on this journey. So let's see where this goes. So again, Scorpio is represented in the Barbieri Tarot by the number 5, right? But in the, and that's the Oracle deck. But in the Tarot, Leo is strength. And Leo is represented by the strength card, right? Number 8. 8 is infinity. 8 is balance. 8 is repetitive. 8 is the bad and the good, the yin and the yang. 8's are continuous. All right, I was just reading that 8s are your abundance and your blessings, and also your perils and your punishments. So, number 8 is strength and tolerance and compassion, the ability to make it through turmoil and adversity. This is about learning to hold your temper, right? The strength card, taming the beast, being able to control your animalistic nature, okay? Having patience with other people's weaknesses. So in some decks, the strength and I think it's strength and temperance are interchangeable, which it would certainly be, right? Patience and having the will to stay patient in a situation. 8, manifestation. So what you think about, you bring about, right? Knowing that you have that power, self-control. And the fairy tale associated with strength is Beauty and the Beast. So the fairy tale Beauty and the Beast, the young girl's father, she's one of 5 or 6 children, but she's very smart, Belle. And her father goes out and he gets drunk and he gets lost, and he winds up at this castle. And he didn't know who the castle belonged to, but he was able to sleep there, and in the morning he was able to eat. And as he was leaving, he saw a beautiful black rose, and so he plucked the rose. And at that point, the beast, who was the owner of the castle, who was the prince, came up and said, no, 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 you can't leave here. You're stealing my flowers, you're eating my food, you manners. No, so I'm going to keep you and put you in the dungeon. And so as these fathers in these fairy tales tend to do, he asked if he could trade places with his daughter because he had other children at home. So he would send his daughter to do his penance. Uh, the beast agreed to that. And so the beast agreed to that. So he went home and told Belle what the deal was. And she had to go and stay with the beast because of her father's indiscretion, right? So, and we know even in the Bible, this is not the first, situation where the daughter has to take the weight for the indiscretions of a father, or the woman has to take the weight for the indiscretions or the shortcomings of the masculine, the male, the husband, whatever it is. So we have many stories like that in the Bible and throughout history and in the myths and legends, even in the Ifa and the stories about the Orisha, that there are places and circumstances where the feminine energies have to take control of the situation or have to be sacrificed in order to make things right because of something that was done incorrectly by the masculine energy. So this may also be talking about feeling like you've been the scapegoat, right? Or you had to be responsible for other people's inabilities to be strong or to maintain. Um, and this also, Beauty and the Beast also talks about yin and yang, and beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So there may be situations that you're judging or you have been judged because of the way you look, the way things appear, or you may be judging others superficially because of the way they look, the way it looks superficially from outside appearances. So that could be something that you may have dealt with, being judged because of your looks. Maybe people thought that you were stronger than you were, or maybe people thought that you were more grown up even than you were because of your looks. So that's possible, right? Or people thought that you were not um, paying attention because they took for granted the way you looked. Um, could be something like that that you deal with. Yeah, maybe we have accelerated motion, number 8. So maybe you grew up quickly, right? Or maybe you had goals. You may have gone to college. You may have been the first in your family to own a business or to go to college or to be a celebrity or something that pushed you forward. And this could also talk about your own belief system, your own faith that caused you to move forward positively, right? Positive forward movement. So the moves that you made were consistent and positive. You had goals and you had dreams and you went towards that. Some of you were trapped in fear, and so therefore you withdrew your emotions in order to be able to deal with the circumstances that you were dealing with. Or maybe there was a lot of movement. So maybe you traveled, maybe you were in the military, your parents were in the military. For some of you, you may have had to learn how to make friends in different places. All right, but you were always able to do it. You were able to morph and make things correct, right? Make things balanced. Make, but you were a leader. No matter where you went, you were a leader, and everyone could see that you were a leader. So strength. This is in the Light Seers Tarot. So she doesn't have a lion; she has a lamb. right? So this is a gentle strength. This is what we're seeking, or this is what we're striving for, right? That gentle strength, compassionate, open, available heart, but listening to your intuition at the same time. But still, gentle control. Doesn't have to be fierce, but lion is still there. Just like here, power, power. So yin and yang, gentleness, humanitarianism, and gentleness. But we have a puma here in the hoodoo deck, and that is always ready to pounce, being on guard, ready to protect if necessary. There may be something about your eyes, eye contact. I'm getting a lot of that. That there's something about, maybe you were told something about your eyes, or the way that you batted your eyes, or there was something about you that was alluring about your looks, your eyes, something that people felt drawn into you. And that could have ended up being a problem because, again, maybe some of you looked older or looked more, you know, attractive, sexy. Maybe you grew up, maybe you reached puberty at a younger age. And so there was a lot of inappropriate movement towards you from unwanted people, unwanted adult energy, male or female, doesn't matter. And so you learn to protect yourself. Hmm. And things that did happen to you, you emotionally withdrew. It's like you disassociated yourself. For some of you, this is not for everybody, but if these things resonate just a little bit, maybe it's something, Ding, that you may need to look into and try to work on that aspect. But there's you may have emotionally withdrawn as you got older in order to retain your power. In the Barbieri deck, Scorpio is represented by the number 8. So some of you may have Scorpio in your chart, or this just could mean it's someone who is very inquisitive, someone who likes to get to the point, who doesn't forget, who has a good memory, and someone who is not above seeking revenge, which is not unconditional love, right? So that's a kind of another opposite energy, okay? So maybe some of you have dealt with that feeling of wanting to get revenge in a situation, but maybe being hesitant, allowing yourself to be above that, or to bide your time, but continue to move forward, or forgive someone, or maybe someone forgave you for something that you did, right? And but let me finish the story of the Beauty and the Beast. So Beauty goes to the castle. She lives. She moves in with the Beast, and he's a beast, right? But she dreams of a prince. She always has dreamed of a prince. So over time, she and the Beast come to be able to tolerate one another, and they became friends after a while. He had lots of books to read, and Belle was an avid reader, and that's one thing that they had in common, that her intelligence. She was able to match him, and he was very surprised at that. He was a bitter um, beast, also hard to please, but Belle found his interest. Now, like in the story Aladdin and the 1001 Nights, the Arabian Nights, I believe it is, where the king is going to kill anybody that doesn't keep him interested. And so the young lady goes and she reads him stories every single night for 1,000 nights in order to keep herself from getting executed by this mean king. I'm just skipping through it. I'm summarizing it, but that's basically it. So again, it's the same type of thing. You, female, had to do something, had to be away, had to show a certain type of strength in order to keep things balanced, keep things quiet, in order to survive. Okay, and this could have been all the time, or this could have been in particular situations that you may have found yourself in, that you were able to transmute yourself, right? And to control yourself, okay? In order to survive and in order to get what it is that you ultimately wanted. So you saw beyond, you believed in spite of circumstances, and that is what has gotten you through life so far. 2121 when I said that. Okay. So let's take a look at this strength card in the Casanova deck. And that is, okay. Well, they have it as justice here. Okay, just like I was saying. And this deck is justice and not strength. But it's still number 8. And this talks about the law and equilibrium, karma, all right, rationality, impartiality, truth, and inevitability. So that kind of goes along with that Scorpio energy, right? Truth, balance, justice, karma, the consequences of one's own actions. So for some of you, you bring the karma. You are karma in the situation. You are justice in these situations. You manifest that type of energy. You always have. Okay. You always have. So anyway, the beast, at some point the beast got, no, Belle got to missing her family. She wanted to go home and see her brothers and sisters and her father, and the beast wasn't going to allow her to leave because she was supposed to be working out her father's penance. But because he was starting to become kind-hearted, he allowed her to go, and she could go on vacation for 3 weeks, right? Like any job. He gave her a 3-week vacation, but he told her if she didn't return after 3 weeks, that he would die. So she was glad to go home and be around her family. They were happy to have her there. Part of her wasn't really was trying to avoid going back there to the castle. And so her family and everyone was trying to convince her to stay at home. And as the end of the 3-week period came, she was still with her family. And she looked in a reflection in a mirror, and she was able to see the beast back at the castle, and she saw him getting sick and his strength beginning to wane. And she saw that he really was going to die if she didn't come back. And so she hurried back. And by the time she got back to the castle, he was very close to dying. And she went to him and she cradled him in her arms and she started to cry. And she told him, Ding, that she loved him. And at that point, he transformed, he became the prince because she kissed him and she cried for him. And those tears healed him from a spell that had been put upon him years before, because some woman came by and was there with him, and he treated her poorly. And at the end of the time that she was there, she put a curse on him so that he would appear as a beast, because he was a very handsome, good looking man, but he was arrogant, conceited, narcissistic. And the woman put a curse on him, and that it would never be broken unless someone was able to fall in love with the beast that he was, basically. And so he didn't have any hope that anyone could ever do that, because he was shallow, and he knew that he had been so attractive before. How would anybody want him in the situation that he is in now? And so, self-fulfilling prophecy, he's an angry camper, and he, does bad things to people, and scares people. And then no one wants to be around him, so it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But because Bell looked past his physical, and even looked past his behaviors, and connected with his, hey, connected with his intellect. Two and two. Thank you again. Hey, how are you? Um, she connected with him intellectually, and she was able to get past. She saw the growth in him, and so she was able to look past his exterior, despite advice of other people, despite the way things looked. And she had compassion and empathy for him. And that empathy and compassion turned into actual love. And so, because she was strong, because she was compassionate, and because she was fair, she got what she dreamed of, because she loved unconditionally. So, Leo, maybe that is what this whole lesson is for you. Doing the homework, being discerning, making positive movements towards the things that you dream about, your own dreams, your beliefs, and holding on to them, but being open to spirit, taking your emotions out of a situation, being just, being objective, being fair. That's what's going to lead to the abundance. 88, abundance, manifestation of abundance. So, self control, strength, belief in yourself, balancing your masculine and feminine energies, accepting your own sensuality, your own sexuality, knowing that this is just part of your life cycle, things that you will learn about yourself that are maybe were hidden, but you'll be able to handle all of that. You can control all of that because of the wisdom that you have, the inner strength. Have patience with others' weaknesses, and do not allow them to become your problem. So again, disassociation, right? Emotional withdrawal, right? Not making other people's problems your problems. So if you're empathic, you may start to take those energies on of the people that you are dealing with, working with, your family, your partner. This is being able to detach oneself from your surroundings and not getting angry, maintaining self control, reacting, responding calmly, growth, and also acknowledging strong women around you, also acknowledging the strength of other women in your environment and in your life, and not be afraid. Not be afraid of the changes. Not being afraid of repeating these cycles. I want to take a look at the trapped in fear, because maybe you can see exactly what it is that you would be afraid of, Leo. And this doesn't have to be for Leo who South Node, or Leo rising, or Sun, or Moon, or I guess it must be South Node or North Node because I said it. But it could be for anybody if it resonates with you. If your birthday is in August or in September, so you could be a Virgo or Leo. Some of these energies may relate to that person also. But you never know. These things can resonate for different people, for different reasons, at different times. So give yourself, give a gift. Give this to another woman or man that may be going on their spiritual journey or not, and share it. And you'll never know. Okay, so the whole idea is to get the message out there. So if you do that, you're helping me do my work, and you're doing your own work too, because you are spreading information. And as long as you don't have to know who gets it, but just know that at least one person is blessed because of your actions. So consider sharing any of these messages. I appreciate your help. Spirit appreciates it also. Okay. Conflict. Nope. Trapped in fear. Sorry, folks. This card says it's actually your own fear that has you stuck and trapped, and it's keeping you from making decisions. So some of you at this time may be stuck, but they're saying that you're only holding yourself hostage. You have to face what it is you're afraid of, and not be afraid to leave the situation that you find yourself in, because you don't see the road ahead, or you think you have nowhere else to go. But that's a lie. Because where you're at, maybe, or where you were, if this is resonating and you were a child, maybe there was a false sense of security where you were, and maybe fear of starting over, fear of being alone, fear of changing spaces, fear of going to college, fear of getting married, fear of getting your own place. These things may have been part of your experience. These fears may have been put on you by family, by enmeshment. Okay. But if you stayed where you are, if you had stayed where you were, you would have just continued to be in that same cycle again. And so for some of you, you were able to escape that. But that still left stress on you. Ding, right? But they're saying that you have everything that you need, all the tools that you need. Don't allow your mind to play games on you, because you are strong enough. You've come through many things. In this life, the last life, you've survived. And it's just negativity. Some would say a trick of the devil, the enemy, whatever it is. There's something or someone or a situation that is frightening, maybe scary, or doesn't appeal to you at all, never did, would never, and they're telling you to look a little deeper and to be open, ding. So it could be someone that you've known before who you felt you just couldn't get along with this person. For some of you, this could be someone that you're going to meet that is attractive to you, or not attractive to you, but you're attracted to their intellect. So this is like a sapiosexual type of situation for someone, or may have been in the past, or maybe, yeah, that's what you're experiencing now, and it's reminding you of a similar situation where you looked past someone's outer appearance and gave them the benefit of the doubt. And maybe for some of you, that's scary because you may have done that before. You may have taken a risk and branched out on your own and left your safety in your environment, and that person turned out to be a beast. Okay, for someone, that's it. You trusted someone who turned into the beast. Or maybe you were the woman that was so mistreated by someone, or you witnessed this as a child, that they, I wouldn't say put a curse on the person, but once that, okay, so maybe you were a child and your parents got divorced and your mother may have taken you away, and your father ended up being by himself. Maybe he was a scary person. Maybe he was away. Maybe he was in jail. Maybe there was an image that you've gotten of him because he wasn't with you, right? Or because of what you had witnessed while they were together. And it caused you to learn to handle your father in a certain way because you loved him despite this ugliness of him. Okay, okay. So some of you are in situations where your parents, maybe there was violence, domestic violence, but you still had a relationship with your father even if they weren't together, right? And you may have heard your mother say things about your father um, that were not wrong, they were true, but you were able to still maintain a relationship with him because you were able to look past what was on the surface, and you came to appreciate and understand him. And so he turned into a prince in your eyes, despite the ugly, despite the beast that he wasn't even able to control. You could, or at least he would control it long enough for you to visit with him and be around him, you and your siblings, or you by yourself. And maybe now you're dealing with a similar situation with a relationship where the person is a beast, but there's a part of you, there's a side of him that you see that's gentle and loving, but that ugly is scary. And he's not your father, so he doesn't have to love you or feel any affinity towards you. So it's even scarier, right? Because this is a person outside of your nuclear family. This is a person who has their own choices, just like everyone else, and you're trying to understand this person, but you're wondering whether or not this is a trap, whether this is a waste of time at this time. I think what the message is here is that you do have the ability to overcome and to take the lead, because it's not about controlling anyone else, it's just about controlling yourself and trusting and listening to your intuition. 39, 59 when I said that. Okay. So let's see if we can get some advice for Leo from the angels and the ancestors, oracles. Just some advice. Like I said, this is not a reading per se. It's just some food for thought. And let's see if we can get some advice from the ancestors for Leo about working with this. Lady. They want you to be a lady. Enjoy your growth and reap the rewards. So, again, being feminine and gentle and wise. Sharing gifts. This is like the star anise. That's important. Okay, I'll take a look at this. But be a lady and keep the peace. Peacekeeper. Let go of the need to be right. And then you'll enjoy and reap the benefits and rewards. At the bottom, wise one. Grow within your current situation. So, look at this. This is like the maiden, the mother, and the crone. So this is about growth. Yes, this is about learning. This is about being strong. Got the white buffalo energy there, which is very important. This is your time. Whoever's watching this, if this is resonating with you, a situation like this in your past, this is the same person. Look at these faces. Look at this. If you look, that's her. That's her. So this is growth. Keeping the peace. Like I said, growing up, adolescence, young adult, keeping the peace. Being a lady, being graceful, right? Learning your lessons and growing. And now you are wise. You have all the keys. You have all the information because you have lived the life and done the work. It doesn't mean that you're a crone or that you're old. Could be by yourself. And you may be by yourself because you have barriers, boundaries against this type of energy because you know what it's about because you experienced it as a child. Okay, for someone. Let's look at lady. Lady is on page 48. Okay, so those are all 8. Well, derivatives are 4. So this is foundational, 48. And this is something that has been inside of you. This is part of your history, part of your journey. Reap what you sow and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Grow and expand in all areas of your life. The lady, who's known as the Empress, is a presentation and a representation of the goddess in her most fertile form. Abundant, bountiful, and creative. Associated with nature, so this is earth sign or earth sign, Taurus energy also. You can have that in your chart, but it doesn't matter. It's about being, this is like the 9 of Pentacles type energy. She is a representation of the goddess Venus, and she is looking for a rich relationship with her counterpart, who is the Lord. So it's the lady and the Lord. It's the Emperor and the Empress, the yin and the yang. She holds an apple, and its seeds form a perfect pentagram. Let me see if I can get this. Yeah, you see that? It's a perfect pentagram, which talks about the 5 elements of life, which is fire, air, earth, and ether. Fire, air, water, earth, and ether is 5 elements. So see that pentagram there? Yeah, I don't know if I can focus it, but that's it, right? Like a star. So that's it. You're having all the tools at your disposal. So let go of the need to be right. keep the peace. Be a lady. Be wise. Lady not in being put down for you or any other feminine energy. If you're a man, it just means being more graceful, being balanced, and learning how to use the tools that you have so that you can get what it is that you want, right? You got to know what you have so that you can use what you have to get what you want. But you have compassion and empathy. You also have the ability to detach and to discern. So, Leo, you have experienced the lessons that were necessary to get you to where you are. Today, you have, okay, the bottom of the deck is spring. So for some of you, there may be some changes that may be going forth as you see your seeds grow. So something that you planted, something that you've been working on, something may be coming towards you in the spring by March, or within the next, depending on when you see this, the springtime, whenever you see this, or things are going to be moving, springing forward rapidly. And that was a rabbit, and rabbits reproduce over and over and over. So some kind of abundance, all right? Over and over and over, repeating cycles. Generational abundance may be coming towards you. And you are being told to, in order to reap these rewards, you have to be the bigger person. And just sit back and relax and enjoy the seeds that you have planted, knowing that you're protected and wise, and you'll be safe. So, thank you so much. I'm just checking to see whether or not anyone had any questions. I don't see anyone. So, I'm going to come out of here, and then I'm going to do the next reading, and that will be for Aries. So, I hope these messages are helpful. And like I said, take a look at those things that you have experienced or are repeatedly being exposed to. And if you have to talk to someone professional or counselor, please do that. If you feel you need to get a personal reading with me or any of the other readers on YouTube, do that. You need someone to talk to? I'm here. So thank you so very much for allowing me to bring you these messages. And I will see you all real soon. All right. And whenever you see this message, if it resonates, then it's for you to see. The message is for you. So be well. I love you guys. Peace. Namaste.